Next type of elimination problem we're going to deal with has to deal with a situation where I'm going to have to multiply one of the equations by a number other than -1 to get to a situation where I have the same variable that has opposite coefficients as each other. All right, so let's take a look at this. We got 6x plus y equals -39, and then we have 3x plus 2y equals -15. So in these, I always say go for the easier road of the two. So if I'm looking at this, I'm saying to myself, all right, well, if I do my y's, I could make them, and think of it kind of like a least common multiple, all right? And the least common multiple would be 2, all right? Because I've got 1 here and I've got 2 here, which means I'd have to multiply my top one not only by 2, but by -2, because -2 would make it the opposite of this. If I do that, that's going to give me kind of a big number up here, and not that, you know, I can't deal with numbers like that, but let's look at the x's and see if maybe that's a better way to go. So with the x's, my least common multiple is going to be 6, which means I'd have to multiply this bottom equation not by 2, but by -2 in order to get this to be the opposite of that. And if I do that, that's actually, you're going to see what happens over here, and that's going to be kind of nice. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply this bottom one by -2. So I'm going to rewrite this top one. Then I'm going to rewrite this bottom one by distributing that. So we get -6x, and that's what we like, minus 4y. All right, that's manageable. And then -2 times -15 gives me positive 30. And then hopefully you can see that, oh, we're getting a much easier thing to add up here. So, and that's why I picked it. All right, so 6x and -6x cancel. You get -3y down here. And then -39 and 30 give you -9. Divide both sides by -3, and look at that. You get y equals, I almost said 1. Y equals 3, positive 3. All right, so that's good. Now let's put that in the top equation. So we'll go 6x, and then y is 3, plus 3 equals -39. Well, subtract 3, and that gives you -42, and 6x, and then divide both by 6, and you get x is equal to -7. So we get a solution of -7 and 3. Now, if I put that in this bottom equation here, you know, so without the -2 being multiplied by it, you go 3 times -7 plus 2 times 3. And if I can show that that equals -15, I'm in good shape. So let's look. -21 plus 6, yeah, that will equal -15. So that's what we want. So we've come up with a good solution. So that's one way of doing elimination, where you have to multiply one of the equations by something other than -1. Now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at a situation where we have to multiply both of the equations by something. So again, when you look at this, you try to pick the easiest path. Okay, it's always about, for me, it's always about the easiest path. So if I look at my x variables, my least common multiple, and I'm going to just write this down so you can kind of see. So if I look at x, my least common multiple for my x's is going to be 20. Which means I'd have to multiply this top one times 5 and that bottom one times 2. And that would work out. If I look at my y variables, my least common multiple is 6. Which means I'm going to multiply that top one times 3 and that bottom one times 2. And I'll have to make one of them negative. So I think I'm going to go for getting rid of my y's. All right, so I'm going to write both of these equations down, all right? And then I'm going to say, okay, I need to get this to 6, all right? So I'm going to multiply that by 3. And my second equation, I got to do the same thing. I got to get my y terms to 6. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2. Now, the one last thing I have to do, and hopefully you're seeing this, is if I multiply these out, I'm going to get positive 6y here, and I'm going to get positive 6y here. I want one of those to be negative so I can add them together. So I'm just going to take either one of them, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make it negative. Okay? And now the fun part begins. We're going to distribute, so we're going to do the top one. So 3 times negative 4 is negative 12x. 3 times 2y is 6y. And anything times 0 is 0. Negative 2 times negative 10x is negative 20x. Negative 2 times 3y is negative 6y. And then negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. So we're going to get a lot of negatives in this, but that's okay, because we know how to handle that. So you get negative 16, then you get negative 32x. We're going to divide both sides by negative 32, and we're going to get x is equal to 1/2. All right, cool, that works. So now let's put that 1/2 in one of these equations. So let's use this bottom one. So let's go 10 times 1/2 plus 3y equals 8. Well, half of 10 is 5. So you have 5 plus 3y equals 8. Subtract 5, and then it starts looking pretty nice. You get 3y equals 3, which means y equals 1. So my solution is the point 1/2, 1. And if I put that in the top equation, negative 4 times 1/2 gives me negative 2. And then 2 times 1 is positive 2. And negative 2 plus 2 does give me 0. So this looks like a very nice solution. And we're happy with that. So I hope these have been helpful to you. Good luck with the quiz. And if you can just remember that whole thing with elimination where the variables got to be the opposite of each other. And then what do you need to do to manipulate the equations in order to make that happen? And if you can come at it from that angle, you'll be in good shape. Okay, guys.